Hello, it's Trisha here of So Totally Trisha. Today I'm going to show you how to make these very simple little cork pouches. So they're made with some cork, faux cork, and with two simple pieces, and I'll just show you how to put it together. So if you have bought a kit from the website and you want to put a lining fabric inside, just use the pieces here to draw around, and this piece as well, and lay your lining fabric onto the wrong side of both pieces. If you want to use a little bit of 505 spray, fabric adhesive spray, or a little bit of a glue stick just to hold it in place, absolutely fine. So I'm just going to show you really how simple it is to make one of these little pouches. As you can see here, I've double stitched around, or you can single stitch around the edge. So the two pieces you need, one is the main piece and one is the base or the pocket. So without extra fabric, without lining fabric, I just pop those two pieces together. Best not to pin them together, they're quite small, so they're quite easy to hold together like this. And I would use a stitch length of no more than 2.5, but I wouldn't use a small stitch length, so anywhere from 2 to 2.5. And all we need to do is I'm going to start just below the straight edge across the front pocket, and so that I'm just going to stitch very slowly, and I'm trying to keep the distance from the edge of the cork as even as I can. So I'm just watching a part of my foot and I'm just dragging that round very slowly. So you can see I'm going at a constant slow speed, and I'm not using any particular foot. This is just a standard foot, and just if you need to stop, by all means do. Lift the presser foot and carry on stitching. And if you find that actually your stitching isn't as even to the edge as you want it to be, why not do a second row? Or if you actually happen to come off the edge, I'm just joining up to where I started, so I'm stitching 2 or 3 stitches over my original. So there is got a little bit of thread there, which I'll just trim off in a second. And all we do then is fold the flap over. I want to find the center here, so I'm just going to lay that on my grid, or pop a ruler, 7, 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to lay it about there. I'm going to put a little mark on my cork in the center, which is around there. I'm then going to get my seam ripper, because I just want to make a little hole for my snap to go through. So I'm just going to, and I'm holding the back of the seam ripper because I only want the tiniest of holes there. And we are going to use 2 of our cam snaps, and we want 2 of the button side, and we will 1 of the outie and 1 of the innie, which is not there. Where is my innie? Just there. Okay, so an outie and innie. So I have my outie on the top. So all I'm going to do is pop that little pointed part into the hole here. Just pop that in. And then on the back, I'm going to place the outie onto that little spike. I'll get my prim pliers, and the button goes into that button part, and I'm keeping my finger on the other part until I can bring that down. Give it a couple of squeezes, and that is now set. I'm then going to lift the flap and see where this comes down and meets my cork, which is there. So again, I'm going to put my fingers inside just so that I can do the tiniest of holes there, and I'm going to pop then the button one from the inside and see if we can find that little hole, which no doubt it won't come immediately, but we're going to, there it is. And then that little spike comes out there, and we'll put the innie on the top. So now all I need to do is put the cut part of my pliers on the inside of the pouch. Make sure that button goes in there. Obviously you can't see the inside there, but I've slotted that in, lowered the other side of the pliers and squeezed a couple of times, so that is now securely anchored in place. Flip it over, and there's my little pouch. Didn't even take me 5 minutes. So as I say, if you have bought a kit, draw around your piece or your pieces for a template, and you can then make many, many more. Okay, hope you enjoyed that little tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.